leaving Brooklyn. On September 10, 2001, one of the 5 Israeli nationals was seen in the Doric Towers apartment complex exiting the 9th floor. The Israeli claimed to be a construction worker who would be working in the complex until 7 p.m. that night. FBI files reveal that all 5 Israeli nationals were together on September 10, 2001 at an apartment in Brooklyn on Lawrence Street. I believe 4 of the 5 men used this address as one of their residences. Also living in the apartment was an unnamed woman. The woman worked in New Jersey and used mass transit to get to work because she doesn't own a car. She takes a train from Brooklyn to the World Trade Center, where she takes a PATH train to Journal Square. From Journal Square, she then takes a cab to work. Possibly unrelated, but it's very important to understand who these 4 men were staying with. An Urban Moving Systems white Chevrolet 2000 van was used by the Israeli nationals to travel from their residence in Brooklyn, New York, to the Urban Moving Systems location in Weehawken, New Jersey. The Easy Pass found by authorities revealed that the van passed through the Brooklyn entrance of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel at 7:48 a.m. on September 11th morning. A gas station attendant at J&S Gulf, a local gas station, located at 1324 Willow Avenue, Hoboken, New Jersey, told FBI agents that a white Urban Moving Systems van came to get gas prior to the attacks on the World Trade Center. The driver had short dark hair, but the gas station attendant did not know if any other people were in the van with that driver. FBI agents determined that the Israelis purchased gasoline at approximately 2:14 p.m., which was subsequently corroborated by reviewing the photographs taken by the Israelis that day. It was not clear how many of the 5 Israelis left Brooklyn together. Doric Towers rear parking lot. FBI agents concluded that the Israelis were in the rear parking lot of Doric Towers between 8:50 a.m. and 9:03 a.m. FBI agents telephonically interviewed 2 people from Union City, New Jersey, with an officer from Union City, New Jersey Police Department acting as a translator. The 2 unnamed people work at Doric Towers at 100 Manhattan Avenue in Union City, New Jersey. They were at work the morning of the destruction of the World Trade Centers. Doric Towers was the site where 3 young men were seen taking a video and still pictures of the destruction of the first tower. The men were in a festive mood and high-fiving each other. They were driving a white utility van. One of the 2 workers at the Doric Towers apartment complex was painting a baseboard inside an apartment when a co-worker told him about the first plane hitting the north tower of the World Trade Center. The painter stands up from painting the baseboard, looks out the window, and notices 3 young men taking video and still photographs from atop the roof of the parking garage adjoining Doric Towers. The painter also saw a white utility van next to the men and a brown van further behind. There were no other people in the parking lot at that time. He believes this occurred between 9 a.m. and 9:10 a.m. The man left the apartment complex and went to his own apartment, which takes approximately 5 minutes. He looks out the window and sees both towers on fire. After 6 to 7 minutes, he goes to another window in his apartment and sees that the men and both the white and brown van are gone. The man did not see any writing on the van or any windows other than the glass on the driver and passenger sides. Interesting to note that 3 cigarette butts were found in the area where the 3 Israelis were taking pictures. Eyewitnesses at Doric Towers. At 8:15 a.m. on September 11, 2001, a female resident at the Doric Towers apartment complex in Union City, New Jersey, observed a white van parking in the rear parking lot of the apartment complex. A white individual appearing to have a brown but not dark complexion, round face, dark hair, approximate age 30s, was driving the van. He drove the van very slowly into the rear parking lot, paused, and backed into a parking spot which, from the front, overlooked the New York City skyline. No passengers were visible. Upon returning to the area at approximately 9:20 a.m. the same day, the interviewee did not see the van. The van was white and had no windows on the sides. It appeared to be a utility van for an electric company because the words electric supplies, among others, were printed on it. The name of the utility or vendor company, since forgotten, was in red letters on the van. The woman noticed the vehicle because utility vehicles usually park in front of the apartment complex, but the white van was in the rear parking lot. A second eyewitness also saw the same van in the same parking lot around 8 a.m. on September 11, 2001. At 9 a.m., an unnamed housewife and resident at Doric Towers, later referred to as T1, watched the smoking twin towers from the rear window of her apartment. While looking in the direction of the World Trade Center, the resident observed 3 males kneeling on the roof of a white van located in the rear parking lot of her apartment complex. She noticed the individuals, and it appeared as though they noticed her. 3 clean-cut white males in their mid-20s were on top of the box-style van, which had no windows on the side. It reminded Settembrino of a telephone company-style van. One of the males appeared to be taking still photographs and video of the other males with the WTC in the background. All of the males appeared to be jovial in that they smiled, hugged one another, and gave high fives. The resident wrote down the license plate number of the van as it left the parking lot, JRJ-13Y. The female resident, T1, was first interviewed in the presence of her husband on September 11, 2001 by at least one FBI special agent. The woman was born in South America, became a United States citizen, and eventually retired from employment. This is the woman who was contacted by telephone at 9 a.m. about smoke coming from the World Trade Center by a neighbor in Doric Towers, later referred to as T2. Using her Binolux binoculars, T1 was able to get a closer look at the World Trade Center through her rear window. Then she opened the balcony door and walked onto the balcony. As she looked in the direction of the World Trade Center, she observed 3 males kneeling on the roof of a white van in the rear parking lot of her apartment complex. She noticed them, and it appeared as if they noticed her. All of the males were white males in their mid-20s, no facial hair, no glasses, clean cut, no hats, all wearing short-sleeved shorts with lean builds. She recalled that one male, male number 1, had light hair which was cut very short. The top of his hair appeared somewhat curly or wavy. He was wearing a white t-shirt and light blue jeans with a hole in the left knee. He was smoking cigarettes. She believes she has the best memory of this male. The woman remembered male number 2 the least of all 5 males. Male number 3 had dark, short, straight hair. The FBI agent who wrote this report also wrote that the white van on which the males were kneeling appeared to be a box van. It did not have windows on the side of the van, and it reminded her of a phone company. The FBI agent who filled out this particular report also wrote that the white van was not parked perpendicular to the fence. Instead, the front of the van faced in a southeast direction. Male number 1 knelt on the roof above the front passenger side of the vehicle, and he faced the apartment complex. Male number 2 knelt on the rear portion of the roof of the vehicle, and he faced New York City. Male number 3 appeared to be taking still photographs and video of males number 1 and number 2 with the World Trade Center in the background. All of the males appeared to be jovial. They smiled, they hugged each other, and they appeared to high-five one another. T1 is certain that the first fire at the World Trade Center had just started. The second explosion had not yet occurred when she noticed these males. Very interesting to note is that multiple times during these FBI files, FBI agents referred to the World Trade Center terrorist attacks as World Trade Center explosions and explosions that happened inside the World Trade Center. There was no one else in the parking lot. As the van pulled away, the woman wrote down the license plate number. She didn't contact local police until she told her husband about the men later that day. On Friday, September 14, 2001 at 7:35 a.m., the female resident T1 was telephonically interviewed by an FBI supervisory special agent and another special agent. The woman observed 3 males on top of a white van with 1 camera. The FBI file stated that the housewife believes that it was a video recording device rather than a still camera. T1 recalls that the camera was a small handheld unit with an LCD screen. She recalls that one of the unknown males was holding the camera up to his facial area and moving the camera slowly from side to side. She described this motion as panning the area. She also recalls that the males appeared to be horsing around. The FBI did recover a single VHS videotape, but there's no further information about what was on the VHS videotape, if anything. But it was sent to a FBI lab later on. In response to T1's initial claims, FBI agents canvassed the Doric Towers apartment building in Union City, New Jersey on September 13, 2001 to determine whether anybody residing at the apartment building could identify any of the 5 individuals appearing in 2 pages of photocopied photographs shown to them, which would be males 1 through 5. Residents were shown a picture of each of the 5 Israelis and were asked if they had seen any of the 5 males at Doric Towers on or before September 11, 2001. A male interviewee living in the apartment complex definitely saw the individual identified in the photographs as number 5 within the apartment building around 3 p.m. on 9/10/2001, the day before the interview, as well as here and there during the preceding weekend. The individual was observed entering the elevator in the lobby along with another individual with whom he was conversing, perhaps in Spanish. The manner in which the 2 men were speaking suggests that they knew each other. The second man was not within the pictures presented. The residents saw the same Israeli who identified himself as a construction worker. Several times during the course of the interview, the interviewee independently volunteered that he was positive that the man identified within the photographs as number 5 was the man he saw in the building. Now, it's impossible to tell which of the 5 Israelis were numbers 1 through 5 at this point because of how heavily censored the declassified documents are. A female resident stated she may have seen number 3 and number 4 around the building area throughout the past summer months. Another female who lived in the same apartment stated males number 2 and number 4 looked familiar. She recognized them from around the apartment building. An unnamed male, possibly the apartment complex manager or superintendent, did not recognize any of the 5 males, males 1 through 5. However, when asked about Urban Moving Company, he told agents that a tenant in one of the apartments called on Sunday, September 10, 2001, and stated that he and his wife would be moving out of the building on Monday morning, September 10, 2001. In a phone message to an unnamed male, the tenant stated in the message that Urban Moving Company would be moving them. In a phone message to the unnamed male, this manager or superintendent, whoever he was, the tenant stated that Urban Moving Company would be moving them. And this person thought that was odd because the couple had paid through the end of September and had not given an earlier notice of their intentions to move. Whoever the married couple was, they had a joint checking account with Chase Manhattan Bank with an address in Hoboken, New Jersey. They were a young couple who were very quiet while living in the apartment complex. The husband did not drive. One of them took a cab to the PATH station in Hoboken every morning for work. Another possible male employee saw 3 male movers with foreign accents moving out the 2 tenants on September 10, 2001. When shown photographs of the 5 Israelis, the man did not recognize any of them as the movers. A female resident said she may have seen male number 3 in the Newark area and male number 4 in the Doric apartment complex office. Another female resident said male number 4, or someone who looked similar to him, was around the apartment complex during the summer. A white female resident told the FBI agents male number 3 and male number 4 appeared similar to the males she saw on the morning of September 11, 2001. However, she was not sure, and no positive identification was established. A white male living in the apartment complex stated that his window faces the south side of the apartment complex building. He also stated that he recalls seeing someone who looks like male number 5, but again, no positive identification was established. Another white female resident said male number 5 vaguely looks like someone I've seen. I can't tell you where or when. She also told the FBI agents that she may have seen this individual on a bicycle. She also recalls that someone who works at the apartment complex was working in the morning hours of September 11, 2001, and that this person may operate a van, but again, no positive identification was established. Another female resident stated that she observed a white car in the far southeast corner of the rear parking lot on the morning of September 11th. An unidentified female appeared to be sitting on the vehicle and taking photographs of New York. No positive identification was established. A white male resident thought male number 3 resembled a homeless man that sleeps near the apartment complex. Another white male resident walked onto his balcony between 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. He did not see anyone in the rear parking lot, nor did he recognize any of the 5 Israelis. A Union City, New Jersey woman, possibly a resident at Doric Towers, was interviewed at her residence about the 5 Israelis. She recognized male number 4 from standing in line for the bus at the Port Authority in New York, New York. Another eyewitness recalls seeing a white van in the rear parking lot of the apartment complex on the morning of September 11th. The van was white and had no windows on the side. It appeared to be a utility van for an electrical company. The name of the company, since forgotten, was in red letters on the van. Usually utility or service vehicles at the complex building parked in front. The vehicle was parked in the back, which is why it came to the interviewee's attention. It seemed out of place. On September 17, 2001, FBI agents interviewed a male eyewitness in his Doric Towers apartment. The person previously telephoned the Newark FBI and indicated that he had photographs prior to the explosions at the World Trade Center. However, upon review, the photos appeared to be taken around the time of the collapse of the first tower, not prior to the attack. After the interview, while waiting for the elevator, the agents noticed a drawing approximately eye level on the wall near the elevator call buttons. The drawing appeared to depict the World Trade Center towers. This was evident by the shape of the buildings depicted, with one tower bearing a large antenna at the top. There was no evidence indicating how long the drawing had been there. Liberty State Park sightings. On September 14, 2001, the FBI's Newark division, with the assistance of the New York office, initiated an investigation predicated upon the detention of the 5 Israeli nationals who may have possessed information about the terrorist incident targeting the Twin Towers of New York City's World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. FBI agents in Newark received information about a big white 2000 Chevy van or a panel truck with Urban Movers written in black on the side of the vehicle being seen at the Marine Terminal building in the Liberty State Park area. The male eyewitness said the vehicle could have been a U-Haul truck. After spotting the vehicle on September 11th, the eyewitness mentioned that later he was in the vicinity of the Port Authority George Washington Bridge when he noticed someone wearing a Bergen County fireman's uniform. The eyewitness stated that he was unaware that Bergen County had a fire department. A male eyewitness arrived at Liberty State Park in Jersey City sometime between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. He drove from his residence to Liberty State Park, Jersey City, in order to give blood. 20 or 30 minutes later, the eyewitness observed a truck enter Liberty State Park. The truck was new, either a 2000 or a 2001 model year GMC box truck with dual rear wheels. The side of the box had a sign which said Urban Moving in black letters. This eyewitness did not recall the exact words, but recalled it contained words to the effect of urban and a moving company, along with an unrecalled 973 telephone number. The truck had no apparent dings, dents, or scratches on it and was remarkably clean for a moving truck. The truck backed into a parking space near the pier within 50 feet of the water. The eyewitness did not see anyone exit this vehicle, and the urban moving truck left Liberty State Park just after an announcement was made to close Ellis Island. At that time, this eyewitness saw 3 males approach and enter the vehicle. The eyewitness described Unsub 1 as the driver of the van, who had a skin tone which could have been that of Mexican origin. Unsub 1 looked light and didn't look like he would work as a mover. He wore faded blue jeans, a white short-sleeved t-shirt, and a black vest, possibly leather. Unsub 1 also wore a black fanny pack of average size, which hung to look as if it contained 3 to 5 pounds of weight inside. The fanny pack hung just below Unsub 1's front left pocket of his jeans. The eyewitness did not get a good look at Unsub 2 or Unsub 3. Unsub 2 carried a digital or 35mm camera with a zoom lens. The 3 unsubs entered the vehicle and departed the area. A third eyewitness saw a big white Model 2000 Chevrolet van, or possibly panel truck or U-Haul truck, bearing the words Urban Movers in black lettering along the side. The vehicle was observed in the Liberty State Park's Marine Terminal in Jersey City, New Jersey, located across the Hudson River from World Trade Center. Pursuant to this information, East Rutherford, New Jersey police authorities stopped an Urban Moving Systems van at a pre-positioned roadblock, which was occupied by males similar to those described by witnesses above. The van had been traveling eastbound along State Route 3 in New Jersey. Following that stop, the police detained 5 individuals, all Israeli nationals, on the grounds that they may have had information pertaining to the World Trade Center explosions. Another key word there, explosions. A Union City, New Jersey female resident said that at approximately 12:30 p.m. on September 11, 2001, she was returning to New Jersey on the Liberty State Park ferry from New York City, New York. She identified male number 4, or somebody that looks similar to him, as being on the same ferry. White glove movers. FBI files insist it was a 10-minute drive from Urban Moving Systems to the White Glove Movers location. At least 3 of the 5 Israeli nationals were seen in the rear parking lot of Doric Towers. Likewise, at least 3 or 4 of the same Israeli nationals were seen at Liberty State Park. How many were in the van when the Israelis left Liberty State Park headed to White Glove Movers? According to the 2 eyewitnesses, only 3. One of the 5 Israelis entered the White Glove Movers location and spoke with someone inside. It was after leaving White Glove and looking for a crossing into New York that they were stopped by police and arrested. It was at this point that one of them admitted that he had additional information and stated that on the way to the parking lot at White Glove Movers, one of them heard one of the 5 Israeli nationals say that I'm glad I brought my camera today. Was this a video camera or a still photography camera? We have one witness at the Doric Towers who says, first she says she saw both. She saw a video camera and a still camera. Later on she says it was just a video camera, just one camera. So no matter what, she's stuck to that same story. She truly believes that she saw a video camera, not a still camera. And then we have the VHS tape, and we're not sure if the VHS tape is even connected to what this woman saw, or if the VHS tape was just something that was found inside of the van. The Israeli who admitted later that he had additional information also told authorities that one of the Israelis in the rear parking lot of Doric Towers had a backpack with him that could have contained a video camera, and he told the authorities that it was possible that that person was using a video camera from inside the van, but he did not see him doing so. So it makes it a little hard to read because all of their names have been taken out. All of the 5 Israelis' names have been taken out of all of the FBI documents except for the New Jersey police report. So it makes it hard to really say which one of the Israelis is claiming he saw another one with a video camera, but definitely one of them believes that it's possible that one of the other 4 Israelis had a video camera, but he did not see a video camera with that particular person, but he had a backpack. I don't recall any other witnesses talking about a backpack, so that's interesting too. The arrests. On September 11, 2001, at 13:10 Eastern Standard Time, a statewide broadcast was sent out at the request of the FBI Newark field office. New Jersey police officers were told to search for a white 2000 Chevrolet van with New Jersey license plate number JRJ13Y with an Urban Moving Systems sign on the back. The van was spotted by eyewitnesses at Liberty State Park in Jersey City, New Jersey at the time of the first impact of a jet airliner into the World Trade Center. 3 individuals with the van were seen celebrating after the initial impact and subsequent explosion. FBI Newark Field Office is requesting that if the van is located, hold for prints and detain individuals. The declassified FBI files specifically mention explosions at the World Trade Center several times. After the arrest of the 5 Israeli nationals on September 11, 2001, 2 FBI special agents interviewed East Rutherford, New Jersey police officer Scott DiCarlo about the arrests. DiCarlo and several other officers were assigned to a traffic detail diverting traffic from Route 3 east to Route 120 north and Route 3 west. In his preliminary report, Officer Scott DiCarlo observed a van traveling quite slower than the rest of the traffic east towards me on the service road. I immediately informed Sergeant Ravelli, the OIC at the scene, of the possibility of a match on the vehicle. As this officer approached the vehicle, I did not observe a front license plate. I went to the rear of the vehicle and observed the license plate NJJRJ13Y. I felt that the only letter difference in the plate could have been a mistake and requested a confirmation. The return transmission revealed the plate on the van matched the broadcast. So at this time, I returned to the driver door and requested the driver to stop the vehicle and exit. The driver did not immediately exit the vehicle and was asked several more times, but he appeared to be fumbling with the black leather fanny pouch type of bag. This officer then physically removed him. Sergeant Ravelli removed the passenger and 1 other passenger from the passenger side of the van with minor assistance from officer in training T. Yannicone. The other 2 occupants were removed, placed on the grass off to the shoulder, and this officer read all 5 individuals their Miranda rights. The van was secured and headquarters was requested to immediately notify the county bomb squad and FBI of the situation. All occupants were transported to the state police facilities inside the Meadowlands Sport Complex by state troopers to await the arrival of the FBI. East Rutherford police officer Scott DiCarlo described the 5 occupants in the vehicle. Along with his descriptions, I have also included additional information the declassified FBI files provided. And you can find that when you read the article on this, of who these 5 men were. The driver, Sivan Kurtzberg. The front seat passenger, Oded Elner. Rear seat passenger, Yoran Shamel. Another rear seat passenger, Paul Kurzberg, Ball, not Paul, and another rear seat passenger, Omer Gavrel Marmari. Sivan Kurtzberg was staying at 100 Lawrence Street in Brooklyn, along with 3 of the other Israeli nationals. He had a renewed passport that originally expired on March 20th, 2001. The passport was extended until October 22nd, 2005. He had a relative in Charlotte, North Carolina, to whom he wrote a letter to. More notably, Sivan told the arresting officer, Scott DiCarlo, "We are Israeli. We are not your problem. Your problems are our problems. The Palestinians are the problem." Sivan was wearing blue jeans, torn at the knees, with a gray and black shirt. He was found with a black bag, a fanny pack. Oded Elner, the front seat passenger, also had a residence in Brooklyn, most likely on Lawrence Street too. He was found with a white sock-like sack filled with $4,700 in cash. He made sure to tell the officers, "We're Israeli." Oded told Sergeant Ravelli that they were on their way to Lawrence Street in Brooklyn, where they are staying with a roommate. The roommate, probably the female that was mentioned earlier. Rear seat passenger, Yoran Shamel, from what I can gather, he is the guy who had a German passport, and he's listed as being German. So they're all Israeli nationals, looks like they're all born in Israel, but this guy is German, lives in Germany, and has a German passport. So after he was arrested, FBI agents requested HQ to verify the validity of the German-issued passport with Berlin. Now, Yoran looks like he had 2 addresses, one in Florida and the other in Brooklyn. So he was probably staying with these guys as well. FBI special agents interviewed someone who said that Yaron lived in Miami 1 year ago. He has at least one tattoo. He was employed at Urban Moving Company. The FBI files also indicated that he has children. His roommate was employed in Jersey City, New Jersey. Yaron planned to travel to Australia, and police believe that he lied when he told them we were on the west side during the incident. They don't believe he was on the west side during the terrorist attacks. He was also wearing jean overalls. Ball Kersberg, rear seat passenger. Very little is said about him. Very little. And there was even questions of if his name was Ball or Paul. According to the FBI files, it says Ball. So I'm going to go with that. He also had a residence in Brooklyn, probably at Lawrence Street too, and an address in Dallas, Texas. He was also employed at Urban Moving Company Systems, and he had an American Express credit card. When arrested, he was wearing a pink shirt and blue jeans, so he stood out like a sore thumb, definitely. The final rear seat passenger, Omer Gavril Marmari, is the guy that the Chevrolet van was actually registered to, but he wasn't driving it. He was most likely one of the very rear passengers. Might have been the guy sitting in the very back. Now, he had an address at 509 West 212th Street in Manhattan. So he had an Israeli passport. He was found with a pack of cigarettes and black sunglasses. So he might have been the smoker that is mentioned later during the interrogations. And there were 3 cigarette butts found at Doric Towers, and it's possible that those cigarettes belong to this guy, possibly. And Officer DiCarlo wrote, prior to the transportation to the state police facilities, this officer was told without question by the driver, "We are Israeli, we are not your problem. Your problems are our problems. The Palestinians are the problems." And he says, "I was also told by Mr. Yaron Shamel we were on the West Side Highway during the incident." East Rutherford Police Department Sergeant Dennis Ravelli was on the passenger side of the van, and he said, "I was able to see at least 4 people in the van, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Officer DiCarlo read the plate number, and I contacted the desk for confirmation on the plate number. The license plate number was off by 1 letter, so the officers contacted headquarters, and Sergeant Dennis Ravelli wrote, it was confirmed that the plate on the vehicle was in fact the plate that the FBI had stated in the broadcast. While Police Officer DiCarlo was removing the driver from the vehicle, I removed the front seat passenger. He stated, we're Israeli." He was identified via Israeli passport as Oded Elner. He advised me that they were on their way to Lawrence Street in Brooklyn, where they are staying with a roommate. He did not have the exact address. Captain Felton and Detective Yannicone arrived at the scene. All 5 males were handcuffed, and Police Officer DiCarlo read them their Miranda rights. All 5 spoke and understood English, and they acknowledged their understanding of Miranda. Bergen County Bomb Squad, State Police, and FBI were notified. FBI agents responded and took over the scene. All 5 were separately transported to the state police facilities in the Meadowlands Sport Complex by state troopers. Under the FBI case file titled Twin Tower Bombing, the special agent who filed out that report described the details of the investigation. The Israelis were observed near Liberty State Park, New Jersey, celebrating and photographing the World Trade Center explosions within minutes after the World Trade Center was first hit by an aircraft. It should be noted that there were inconsistencies in the statements made by Yaron Shamel, who stated that the van he was in was on the West Side Highway in New York at the time of the attack on the World Trade Center. However, he is clearly visible in photographs enclosed, which he and other occupants in the van had taken from a rooftop parking garage located at 100 Manhattan Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey, within minutes after the first WTC building was struck by an aircraft. At least 2 of the detainees were employees of Classic International Movers Incorporated. The Chevrolet van was towed to an impound. The FBI investigation apparently identified 7 individuals in connection with urban moving systems. And we know that they actually had many, many more names that were identified in this investigation. FBI agents also requested further information of the 28 names found in papers seized during the search of a vehicle leased to urban moving systems, as well as 72 telephone numbers. In the van, authorities also found money, maps, photographs, address book, 2 Israeli passports, 1 German passport, flight coupon, a flight itinerary, a black organizer, miscellaneous note papers, 2 notebooks, a black organizer, 2 pocket notebooks, a handwritten letter with a return address from Charlotte, North Carolina, an Easy Pass dated from 10/30/1997 for New Jersey, 2 cell phones, items 11 and item 13, a Sprint Samsung phone and a Sprint Nokia phone, a Smart Beat Motorola pager, listed as item 12, a flyer for a place of business called Garage, with the opening night dated as July 11, 2001, and an application to visit Australia for tourism. There was a lot of other things also found in the van, including FBI item number 1, which was copies of 76 8x10 black and white photographs. FBI item number 2 was the negatives for the film of the still camera, the Canon EOS SLR. FBI item number 2 were the film negatives for the 2 still cameras that were found in the van. Photos later developed by the Newark FBI office, the 35mm camera photos. Photos clearly show that the Israelis are visibly happy on nearly all of the photographs. Further, the photos reveal that the Israelis had taken photographs from both the top of a van and from another location believed to be a parking lot near the urban moving systems location in Weehawken, New Jersey. So they had taken pictures at 2 separate locations. Another item that they found is just simply listed as camera. It's not clear if it is a still camera or a video camera. So, still photographs from the Canon 35mm camera developed later showed 2 of the Israelis in a parking lot adjacent to the Doric Towers. The 3 Israelis sitting together on top of a white van are visibly smiling on at least 3 of the photographs. The photographs also revealed that all 5 Israelis later observed the World Trade Center burning from a location on top of the roof of an urban moving systems warehouse located adjacent to the urban moving systems office location described. FBI agents believe that the Israelis' photographs were taken closer in time to the explosion of Tower Number 2, the South Tower, than to the initial impact of Tower Number 1. One of the Israelis apologized for appearing happy in the photographs, and that Israeli stated that Israel has been dealing with incidents like this for years. He believes that the United States will take steps to stop terrorism in the world. Doesn't explain why he was so happy. He's happy because he thinks the USA will now act. I don't know. That seems very, very weird to me. Inside the fanny pack, it looks like they found at least $1,000 in $20 bills. International student identification card was found, some calling cards, tons of business cards. And if you want a complete list of what they have, you can read the FBI files for yourself, or in the article that I've written, you can get a lot more information on what was exactly found inside of the van. What was not found inside the van. Newark FBI agents also wrote about what was not found. Oddly, equipment technically used in a moving company's daily duties was not found, including work gloves, blankets, straps, ropes, boxes, dollies, rollers, etc. Also not found was a video camera that T1 claimed to have seen one of the males use to film the explosions at the World Trade Center. When Newark's criminal division interviewed the detainees about what might have been on the missing video camera, it was determined that several of the detainees had, by their own admission, censored. By their own admission, lied? That'd be my guess. What would they lie about in regards to the camera? All that's censored. Well, the next section is heavily censored, but whatever the detainees were telling the agents did not believe the Israelis were telling the full story. Though 4 of the 5 Israeli nationals were given polygraph tests, only 2 of them were given polygraph tests specifically related to the alleged video camera that was used to film the WTC explosions. 2 FBI special agents from Newark conducted a follow-up investigation of the 2000 Chevrolet. 2 agents conducted the review in an attempt to locate the green lighters shown in the photographs, to locate evidence of a video camera, and to determine the accuracy of the time-date LCD readout on the Canon EOS 2000 camera. After completing the search of the van and its contents, the agents were unable to locate the lighter or video camera and any evidence of a video camera. An FBI laboratory file points out that a TDK 160 VHS videotape was received on October 1, 2001, adding that the results of the videotape examination are included in this report. Yet in the declassified FBI files, I did not find any results about the videotape examination. Explosive evidence. Inside the van, authorities found a positive result for the presence of explosive traces. According to the declassified FBI files, a search of the van and individuals was conducted at the time of the vehicle stop. The vehicle was also searched by a trained bomb-sniffing dog, which yielded a positive result for the presence of explosive traces. Swabs of the vehicle's interior were taken, and those samples were sent to the FBI laboratory for further analysis. Final results are still pending. Officer DiCarlo, or one of the other officers on the scene, notified the Bergen County Bomb Squad. Bergen County Bomb Squad was dispatched. Bergen County Police requested the ERES and the ERFD to stand by at the ramp from the sports complex to the New Jersey Turnpike. The FBI found at least 4 items related to explosive material inside the Urban Moving Systems van. They are item number 15, item number 16, item number 17, and item number 34. Item number 15 is listed as a fabric sample explosive residue. Item number 16 is listed as control swabs. Item number 17 is listed as control swabs-bomb suits. And item number 34 is listed as blanket samples for explosive residue. A videotape and several still photographs were sent to a laboratory examiner from the explosives unit. The multiple white vans. On September 20, 2001, Newark FBI agents interviewed a female employee of Urban Moving Systems at her home in New Jersey. She told the FBI that Urban Moving Company had only 1 white van, which did not have any lettering on either side reflecting the name of the company. However, she recalled seeing magnetic panels with lettering for Urban Moving Company in the office at some point in the past. On the day of the Twin Towers being struck by aircraft, she could not recall seeing the white van owned by the company in its usual parking space on the side of the building. On September 17, 2001, 2 FBI special agents went to the Urban Moving Systems location to obtain information about how Urban's employees record that they have arrived for work, time cards, for example. While at the Urban Moving Systems warehouse, FBI agents saw several trucks parked in the parking lot behind the building. 3 of them were white trucks with Urban Moving Systems written on the side of the vehicles. 1 truck had Urban Moving Systems written in black lettering, and the other 2 had orange and black lettering on both sides. Another white Urban Moving Systems truck had no license plate. It had nothing written on the sides of the trailer.